Kraig Facts. Kraig Facts.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Kraig Facts, man. Hey, welcome to this episode of Kraig Facts. I said that.
Yeah, we here.
Piece,
man. We
man.
up in this thing, man.
As usual, man.
Yeah.
Tuesdays, 3 o'clock. We bringing back a Thursday live show as well, too. That's going to be soon. But check this out. I got a special guest, y'all.
Yeah.
One of my OGs in comedy, a master teacher, none other than Mark Prince.
Pew, 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 pew.
How y'all is? What it is? I'm here. He been trying to get me over here for a minute. I'm chilling.
Explain this to me. My grandfather told me, man. He said, man, every man thinks about killing his wife at least one time.
Mm.
And I never understood that because I've never thought about killing my girl. But he used to always say that you're not a man until you realize what makes you a man is the fact that you can hurt people and you choose not to do it. Is that a normal thought? Was he right about that? Is that something that that crosses every man's mind at least one time? Is that, man, I might have to kill this.
I think it's normal. I think it's a normal thought for men and women, for husbands and wives.
And whatever a man thinks once, a woman thinks 10 times.
Because actually, women in society act on killing their spouse more than their husband. They just blaming them, but it's actually the woman.
Yeah, I can see that.
They used to check men if you died back in the day, like really right before 1970. If you like had a heart attack or you had a heart attack driving at the wheel or something like that, if it wasn't like a gunshot or something, they would check your system for arsenic.
Right.
If you's white, because the white woman back then was always poisoning her husband.
Poison is a white move. For
It's
sure.
a white move.
I don't know. I'm not.
I've never met a black
heard
woman.
of it. I've heard of people getting shot in the hood. I've heard of people getting choked out, beat up. I have never heard of nobody being just regular old poison.
No.
How they know they're using enough poison?
White women were connoisseurs in poisoning.
You supposed to use 2 scoops. You use 1 scoop, and motherfucker's still walking around.
Well, I mean, that nigga wake up the next morning. That motherfucker wake up the next morning. You didn't.
She just threw up.
You didn't do what you supposed to do.
Yeah. You all right in there, baby? You need help? He be yelling stuff.
So then
Hey, no, I'm good.
in
You
1973, they came up with the portion of divorce where the woman get half your stuff. And ever since they came up with that, white women stopped poisoning their men to get the money. Because now all you got to do is just divorce them.
When before they had to die.
Oh.
Because when you think about divorce and a man made a law that a woman could get half his shit, you have to like what man would come up with this shit?
Right.
Like, for what?
Oh, so that's
But
why
then
they
when
did-
you go back and you read the history of how they used to live, the white woman was predominantly poisoning her white man for the inheritance or whatever he had. So he
How long? Let me ask you a question. How long would it take if you realized your woman was trying to poison you, but she didn't know you knew, so you was able to foil the plot every time, right? How long would you allow this to go on before you just said, you know what, bitch, look at this satchel full of poison, bitch. That's all the. Or would immediately?
How long? Probably a few months, right? And then she go catch me in the bedroom when she come home, fucking her sister,
Right.
and her mama, right? I'm gonna do a little threesome, and then she gonna go, "You dirty dog," and and then I'm gonna put in the VHS tape that I had been recording around the house of this bitch poisoning me every day.
That ain't no regular French fry, Barbara. Those are green tip French fries. Ain't no green tip potatoes in nature, bitch. That is a fucking poisonous Meso-Indian viper snake
poison dart fry.
fang.
So poison
Dart
dart
fry. You got.
So you see what I'm saying, Craig? You see what I'm saying, Craig? You can't just reveal it to him that, hey, you was doing this.
You can't do that,
no,
bro.
you got to do
That's
some
the wrong move.
revenge shit first, then go, hey, you was doing this.
You think Hay's gonna work though? I think Hay is the
No, the
wrong.
revenge shit is what's going to hurt him.
You got to throw a poison party. You got to throw a poison party, and on her plate is all the shit she tried to kill you with.
Ooh.
You got to throw a poison party.
No, then they're going to take you to jail and say that
see?
you was the one trying to poison her.
Oh yeah. You spill the fries on her. You spill the poison dart fries on her.
What about taking
Oh, excuse me. Oh shit.
What about taking her casket shopping? Yeah,
Oh.
I'm in the mood to figure out how it's gonna happen. Just what you think.
Lay down. Let's see how you looking there.
She like, get the green one. Get the green one. Like, why are you so
How
hype?
you like that pillow? Lay in that casket. How you like that pillow?
See how your hair matches the light?
You like silk?
You like silk?
Oh, you got to get in first. Like, look, I want to see what I look like in it. You get in it first.
You ever
She be
realize
happy.
that somebody around you was trying to poison you? Not on no actual kill you, but mentally, they were trying to destroy you.
Yes.
In small doses.
Yeah.
That's a crazy realization to come to.
Yes.
Were they white?
Not big black, white,
All the people that have directly tried to poison me, and I hate to say it, and I would have been black, but that's because I only fuck with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because we suffer from that envy.
All kind of shit.
I mean, man,
You can't even be doing better at the job than the motherfucker. You can't even be on time all the time at the job. Motherfucker be like, this motherfucker.
We got a saying for that in the black community, and it's called, "Oh, so you think you better than me, huh?"
Oh yeah.
As soon as you say that, you know how what you saying about the poison person, you could tell in their rhetoric. Okay, you get a new car, and that person go, "Oh, Kraig, I like your little car." Little, saying that, belittling what you have, right? That's a poison person.
For sure.
well, I mean, the compliment is the ultimate weapon.
True.
That's why you got to really watch a person that is overly concerned with compliments. Please and thank you. Hello, goodbye. You didn't say hello. Because these are people who are actually trying to make you participate in your demise. And they're the person that's planning the demise. And they don't think that you're smart enough to see it.
They want you to participate in
They
it.
want to, because they need you to justify it. Because they going to take it to everybody else and be like, man, I don't like him because he did this. Y'all notice he be doing that?
Yeah.
See?
And then they need you to do something to justify they bullshit.
Listen to what I'm telling
Smart
you.
man.
Listen to what I'm telling you, people in the world. When you realize that somebody is cursed in this way, because that's evil. That's demonic behavior. When you realize somebody is cursed in this way, do not allow them to shackle you with embarrassment. Because one of the tools of the evil is isolation. They do things to corner you and isolate you away from your power source. They don't want people talking to you. They want everybody around you hating you. They want you uncomfortable when you walk into a room. They want you uncomfortable speaking your mind. They want to put you in a situation where you feel like you second guessing yourself.
Teach.
That's the poison. Don't think that shit is no accident. If you was a happy, joyous motherfucker before this person came around, and now you are stressed out, you got anxiety, you suspicious of everybody. That is a demonic thing around you. Now I don't know what God you pray to, because to me I don't give a fuck what God you pray to. But what I'm telling you is, if he gives you the mental cognition to recognize some shit, don't be a coward. Act on it, because when you die, niggas gonna mourn you for a little bit, then they gonna be on to the next shit. And I hate to say it.
You know, that is what Kraig teach, brother. First of all, I want to just say facts. Teach, brother, teach. That is like the reason why, I came on your show, because how you break it down to your people and you give inspiration. By saying that, I bought Kraig this shirt, people. I bought Kraig this shirt here to the show today. I got a store called Soul Folks in Leimert Park, right?
Leimert Park, dope store.
I bought this shirt especially for Kraig. It said, for sale, inspiration. And I thought that this shirt perfectly explains Kraig. And I know y'all think the same thing too. And I got it in a 6X for his big ass. So Kraig,
appreciate you, big bro.
I got a shirt. I got a shirt for you too, brother.
Hey, for sale, inspiration for sale.
Hey, we got some Roast the Host shows shirts coming up, designed by one of the greatest designers in the world, Autobots.
Autobots.
We got a show February 23rd at the Ice House. We'll be roasting and doing stand-up. Y'all make sure y'all come. Tell them where they can find the merch and all that, Autobots.
If you go to thecraigsmith.com, you could even follow us on at KraigFacts, slide in DMs, and let us know what you like, what you want, and your size. You dig.
Show him that though. I like that.
Yeah, show him the shirt. Show the camera, man.
God is black, people. Which one?
No, that says God.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
You know what to do.
That's a black man, right?
Yeah.
We were saying that, niggas. We were saying niggas got to pray too much. That's it, nigga. God know everything. You ain't got to say. All you got to do is wake up every morning and be like, God, you know what to do, and that should cover everything.
You ain't gotta.
God, like you do what you do. I do that.
You ain't gotta spend 2 minutes praying over the same prayers you prayed last Sunday and the Sunday before that. It just you said it already.
Yeah, they say
It's already written.
they tell you pray Paul's prayer out the Bible. That's Paul's prayer.
Yeah.
I ain't Mark prayer. Mark did some different shit that Paul didn't do. Okay?
Hey,
Paul wasn't looking at porn on the internet.
Let me give you a few signs before we dig into the life and history of one of my favorite legends in the game, Mark Prince. To all my viewers, here's one of the signs that you're dealing with somebody that's eventually going to try to destroy you. A man that has his woman with him in inappropriate situations. If his woman is around his friends who are men and it's outside of a special occasion, a birthday or a holiday, that nigga is going to try to destroy you.
Teach.
Because what's going to happen is he hasn't developed the mental fortitude to tell his woman no. And the more she comes around him and his friends, she's going to start resenting him for not being strong enough to set boundaries that will protect her from the things that men say and do. There will be a time where if your woman is around niggas you hang with enough, where your manhood is going to be in question. Either you ain't going to be smart enough in comparison to another nigga in the room, maybe she going to think somebody else is a little cuter, but there's going to be a time where she realizes that you're not the one for her because you're not able to set the appropriate boundaries that will protect her. Because women need us to protect them because at the end of the day, they'll fuck around and kill themselves. Women don't respect boundaries.
No, they don't.
Women do not respect boundaries. And I don't mean that in a sexist way. I just mean it in this way.
Say it, Kraig.
Okay, they're the strongest beings in the world. They multiply. We ain't shit without them. I totally get that. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Shout out to black queens all across the world.
Black women.
World wouldn't be done without them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Shit,
But
yeah.
women are capable of one thing and incapable of the next. One thing that they're not capable of is truly protecting themselves. Right? But one thing they're capable of is sustaining us and sustaining society. But in order to sustain, you have to be protected to have the mental clarity to sustain whatever it is that is being built. So being around niggas, damn, I done lost my train of thought. You know what? Fuck what I'm talking about. We're going to go to Mark Prince.
Oh, shit.
We're going to go to Mark Prince, and I'm going to get back to that thought. We're going to take a quick break before we go to Mark so we can get the other big homie in here, get his chair set up next to Otto, and then we're going to get back going. God.
Yeah. You have nothing to offer, you're the flattery guy. You're not a man, you sold your car when your battery died. You bribed your bride with a Bible ride. Now God's in her heart and you're on the outside. I done had friends be like, I'ma go with who I barely know, cause they watered me with compliments so I barely grow. When you addicted to that dopamine, the hit is low. You the greatest, it's a payment and it's criminal. I'm Langston Hughes, without the dudes. Life is a bitch, I played her smooth. Fell out with a friend, not a bad nigga. But since he never had a dad, nigga, he looked at vulnerabilities like he had niggas. Talking straight back, bite you. Theme park price you. A slew of them might dudes, a crew of them like you. Here's a mirror, it's clearer that you wanna fight you. You know they gentrified this neighborhood, right?
You don't what you do.
He's not from around here.
In a fight for your life, all is right.
Shit has changed.
You don't what you do. In a fight for your life, all is right.
You still banging, you Confederate soldier. You know you've killed more of us than they have. Ain't no score when you black and you poor. You'll kill a nigga then spend your money with A-Rap, and that ain't right. It's more to a young and that ain't life. What are your wishes? Subpar star emissions, and that ain't pipe. Blowing smoke from your blase life. Running amok and doubling up on they cash. That ain't yours. Something open and that ain't doors. Just a cup of Flint water. Can't fall for old boy shit. Pimp starter. Don't be giving up trust if you in a rush, not they bad. Basic rule that could take a basic view and make it capable. And that's not a stretch. Store trips without the note on your chest. Be democratic. Take two and we can vote on the rest. The boat or the jet. Money's made of sick animals. We should go to the vet. This neighborhood, right?
You don't
You don't.
what you do.
He's not from around here.
In a fight for your life, all is
Shit
right.
has changed.
You don't what you do. In a fight for your life, all is right.
If you lose a fight to a gay nigga, you're going back to Africa, is what we said. Going back to the fatherland.
What you mean, the mother man? No, it's the fatherland for me.
That's at the base of Lake Titicaca.
Hey, with Trump in office, we can say anything we want to now.
Yeah.
What's the gay national gay bird?
The
National gay bird.
the national gay bird.
Heacock.
Huh?
The heacock.
He said the heacock. What'd you say, Kraig? What'd you say?
How can you beat the heacock unless you say peacock?
And what'd you say? What'd you think the gay?
It'll be a koosh cock then.
And what'd you say?
That nigga said
It'll be the cancel bird.
It's a cockatoo. And the other national bird is a swallow.
A cockatoo to swallow.
A cockatoo and a swallow.
If I lose,
This nigga
if
said
I
big
lose the
bird.
fight, I'm not getting up under my own strength. You got to airlift me out of there.
They got airlift.
You got to go to the hospital.
Yeah, outsass me.
Assessment.
Nigga, getting outsassed, I'm going to lose that every time.
Yes, you lose an argument.
If I get beat up by a gay dude, I'm just gonna play the rest of it as a gay dude. I'm gonna be
Really?
like, yeah, I'm not gonna just be a straight dude getting beat up by a gay
How far
dude.
you gonna take it?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it to the fight end. That's it.
You still gay dude, you're going to take it in the ass.
That's how they fight in. That's how they fight
That's how you
in.
going to take it.
You gonna end up naked.
And this, we so fucked up as dudes.
I'm in character.
If you got killed by a gay dude, when we tell the story that you got killed, do you know we're gonna add that? You know that nigga got killed by a gay dude.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's how it starts.
That's how we
That's-
say
That's how it begins.
That's,
how it
that's once
begins.
upon a time.
Right.
Niggas be like,
But you do
sexually?
anything, black people think you gay.
Right. Like, what does gay have to do with it? Nothing, but we're gonna add it. It's gonna go in there.
I ain't never met
everything
I ain't seen him around. I ain't seen him with a woman in 2 years.
That'd be a sign, though.
In 3 months.
DMX said, Lord, give me a sign. Well, the nigga ain't have a woman in 2 years.
Yeah, why is he even fighting with gay niggas? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right, what they fighting about?
Right.
It's
Over
some
the bill.
comedians.
It's
It's some
fighting over the
comedians
bill.
we know we ain't never seen
Fighting over the bill.
Fighting over the bill is crazy.
But that was his roommate?
No, they fighting over a nigga named Bill.
You said there's some comedians for sure.
That we have never seen with women, like all this time, ever. And don't talk about women problems. If you're a dude and you don't have and you come around your dudes and you don't never come around your dudes and be like, man, this motherfucking chick.
Right.
Something wrong with you, bro.
Why can't he just be a master of your woman and keep all your pussy to yourself?
No, it's because he ain't got no women.
Yeah.
If you ain't got no women, you ain't got no women problems.
Yeah. Hey,
If you got a woman, you got problems.
I can see that.
Yeah, you don't got women problems if you only got bitches though.
No, then you got them problems.
That's women problems right there.
Yeah, yeah.
got
Bitches
bitch
problems
problems.
is better. Those is like, I'm not calling you right now. You're not calling me.
Right.
Bitches is not easy to deal with than women though. That's a safe bet.
Right. Well, women accuse you of fucking bitches, and bitches just shut the fuck up. That's the difference between women and bitches. A bitch don't give a fuck what you doing, but a woman, you got to check in.
Real talk.
She want to know where you been, and why you been there,
Real
and
talk.
how long, and who's the bitch.
Real talk.
I was on the phone with Abe earlier, and I was around a very beautiful woman that I care about. And I said, "What's up, Abe?" And she was cooking, and she turned around and said, "What the fuck did you say?" I said, "What's up, Abe?" She said, "Oh, I thought you said babe." I'm like, what the fuck?
Like you'll be that bold in the kitchen.
How
What up,
raggedy
babe?
are you?
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Raggediest nigga ever.
You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna just.
I got the other one cooking for me
I
right
was in the
now.
house.
You can't disrespect no woman, but a bitch. Shut up, bitch.
Don't call me that in front of the kids. Can you tell another woman that you love her in front of your girl?
Can you do in front of your girl?
Yeah.
Can I tell another? No.
Why would you do that?
Your mama?
I'm just. Why not?
Huh?
Well, it's not a good idea.
You want to die?
Yeah.
What the
Or
fuck?
no?
It's that fur hat this thing got on. Got me tripping like that.
Is a woman that
Suede hat.
That's velvet.
is a woman that needs your help capable of loving you?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think anybody that got a fucking preconceived, whatever they call that shit, when they're going into something preconceived objective, then it's going to be that fucking objective.
Well, you know, I wrote a book on
So most women don't love you, motherfuckers. That's the whole thing.
You know that,
Craig
right?
getting that.
Really
They in that. They not in that
right?
relationship for you, motherfucker.
You know how I did that, you know what I'm
Did you
saying?
see you
That
wrote
is
a
not
book
your
You know I wrote a
relationship.
book about this, right?
Like to hear?
Yeah, I wrote a book on love. It's called I Sold 5 C's Love. Get it on Google, on Amazon Books. Yeah, love is it's a process.
Okay.
And,
like a perm.
yeah. It's got ingredients, just like a
Perm
perm.
love.
It's straight to the back.
Yeah,
That's what love is.
yeah. I mean, look. Love is reciprocal. It's never one way.
They should be.
It's, you know what I'm saying? And it consists of you got to be considerate
Okay.
to the point where you
That's
willing.
one of the C's.
That's
That's
one.
the first C. We doing 5 C.
Reciprocal.
Okay.
Five
One-
C's.
Okay.
Reciprocate or
Wait.
reciprocal?
No, that's
Reciprocal?
R.
Reciprocal sales. Niggas die
Reciprocal.
from that.
Don't start with no C. What the fuck is going on, man? Oh, what is
Reciprocal.
Consider it.
Oh, I just said reciprocal.
Consider it.
First thing you got to say.
Reciprocal, yes. He said
Reciprocal
reciprocal.
Yeah.
Reciprocal sale.
5 C's. The first word starts with an
I
R.
always thinking about a sickle cell. Every time I say something
Okay, it's
sickle
5
in it.
C's. I hope coochie is number 2, but go ahead.
This book got a
C-
twist.
First C is you gotta be considerate.
Okay.
This is both ways. If it ain't happening either way, it ain't happening.
Okay.
Once you're being considerate, you're doing that to the point where you're willing to care about them.
Okay.
And not only care about them, but care about them.
Scary second C?
You consider it to the point where you're willing to care.
Okay.
And you don't just care about them based on your standard. You care about them and what they care about.
Right.
Oh.
That's the difference. Because you care about, nigga, but bitch, I care, but you care about what you care about.
okay.
So once you consider it enough to the point where you caring, now you're willing to compromise.
Okay.
Because you ain't gonna compromise for motherfuckers you don't care about.
Okay.
Hear that, ladies?
And you can do that.
And the last
you can
C
do that with
is
more than
murder.
one person.
C
right?
murder.
The 4th C is credit card number.
Okay, I guess men do
Get a
have
credit
that
card
thought,
number. That's the 4th C is credit card number.
So compromise, care.
Consider it to the point where you're willing to care about them and what they care about, and because you're willing to compromise because you want to complement that life.
Okay.
You want to make it better.
And what's the fifth?
And then the 5th C is consistency. And this love is the same thing between a girl, a guy, your children, your mother, your brother. It's one love.
What
It
if you're
ain't
not orgasming?
Huh?
What if you're not orgasming?
Yeah, don't start with a C.
Uh,
That's out. That's out. That ain't in the
coming.
book. You can't do that. That ain't in the book.
It's in the book.
Should I tell Craig how to pronounce that word? People are just like, let him say it. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that?
You just lay there, consider it,
I thought it was
and be consistent.
No, no, say it again, Craig. Say it.
orgasm.
Okay, that's that word, but you saying something else.
What did I say?
Orgasmin.
Is that what you
I
wrote?
said, what if she's not orgasming?
Oh yeah, she's not doing that.
The people,
Orgasm
people in the
abdomen.
chat room, try to spell the word the way Craig said it.
That's the orgasm.
She not doing
abdomen.
that, no matter
comes
what
from
you
the
do.
abdomen. That's an abdomen orgasm.
Orgasm.
Like
She doing that. You need to stop doing what you're doing.
Like to see
Yeah, it
that stuff.
vibrates.
I can fuck with that.
I like
real
that, bro.
though. Yeah, you consider it.
I like that.
You got to be considerate. And most relationships, they missing one of them C's.
But you can't love if you. What did I say earlier?
If somebody needs something.
If somebody needs something, because that's a void.
Yeah.
That's a void.
They're not
I
whole.
am not responsible for filling your void. You have to already come full.
What
You're
about
going in that
consider it? You got
relationship with a
to
mission.
compromise.
Right.
See?
Yeah, but if they being considerate and they willing to compromise to
See?
make you better,
See?
but the trick is consistency because what they want is temporary.
The
Who
trick
they are
yeah.
is consistent.
Talk to Craig. I be trying to
Preach.
tell man. Talk to Craig.
I mean, consistency, all that shit is good, but you.
You This your book, bitch. Ah,
But
ripping
one
pages
thing
out.
I learned about what you're talking about love.
that's true, though.
One thing I learned that is very important for men and women. You don't try to teach somebody love that hasn't been taught love from their childhood. You're gonna waste your time. You're gonna waste your efforts because it's like an alien life form to them. Right? You loving them make them uncomfortable. That's like you growing up with love. You get in a relationship and that person give you nothing but hate. That's gonna be uncomfortable to you because you're not used to that. So it's the same way, vice versa.
So you're
right?
unevenly
You ever
yoked.
have a girl you really did love her and gave her the world and you did treat her right and then she fucked you over and da da da. But she didn't know how to love because she was never taught love. So if you're looking for love and you're gonna do the 5 C's, I say 6 because coochie should be in there. Yeah. But you should look for
It
somebody
ain't no
who
pussy. It ain't
look
love.
for
Yeah,
somebody
can
who
you
know how to
add
love.
a
That's a
C?
science project.
Is it too late? Is it already a
too late to
bestseller?
add
Can we
that?
get that
What's
C
the
in there?
connection?
For everybody, this is a one love.
No,
so
we
this
should
is a love.
is it too late to add another C?
We need you to add
gotta
that
add
next
coochie.
C,
I
brother.
mean,
Because that's a Frankenstein bitch.
This
without
love,
no pussy.
Yeah,
for
this is
your
just-
children, your brother,
Frankensteinian.
your mother, your sister. It's the one love. So no, you can't add coochie to it. No, I'm sorry.
Well, is there-
No, not this time.
Is there a different
All right, if
edition
you're gonna
that we
say it
can
like
get?
that.
but you know what that made me think of? I thought of something, and it made me think of you.
I knew I was forgetting
What's
something.
what's more powerful in the world now, love or tragedy?
Man, see, that all depends on the person because some people are chasing that dopamine. And tragedy and love are both things that could be a catalyst for that hormonal release in your body. Which is why when you deal with a chick that argues and is constant drama, if you stay with her, the stakes always, or the ante always ups every year. You got to do more for her to feel love. As the arguments get better, it goes from yelling to choking to punching to cheat
Scratching.
to shoot, and so it's like that comes from that
Damn.
tragedy side of the brain. So I would say tragedy these days.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I mean, even when you look at stuff like the fires and all that, like people will come out and help people behind tragedy, but people will always be fucked up.
Oh,
People
there
will
all
always
kind of
be mean
GoFundMes
shit.
if a
Hey,
nigga house
No,
burned
but you
down.
know what though? I think it's love though, because when the tragedy happens, the love was already there. So like when Altadena burned down, like the love I had for my old junior high school and the neighborhood shit like that was already there. The tragedy just brought it out.
People don't want to help people that they think are doing as good or better than them. Do you get what
that'd
I'm
be
saying?
crazy,
So that's
man.
why I think it's the tragedy. It's because, nigga, I help you, but not if it's gonna get you in front of me.
Right.
Like, how come a nigga can't just, hey man, man. Look, I found a house. It's 1.2 million. I just need 300,000. I'm gonna start I ain't doing bad in that. I just wanna, man. I'm trying to go to that next level.
Niggas is doing that. This cat's out there doing that with the
Not just
Altadena
on-
fires.
but not when it ain't no tragedy.
Right. You need
Yeah.
you
And I
need
think
tragedy,
it
you need
is tragedy
but-
because look at all those homeless people we got in LA.
No, that's yeah, right.
We got ourselves together in 2.4 hours to help everybody in the fires in LA.
Right.
Right. Collectively.
Out of love, because
But
we
out
love
of-
those
out of-
people.
Out of,
Out of
out of tragedy.
Out of tragedy.
But out of love would have been no tragedy, and we all got together, collectivized, and helped the homeless in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like we helped everybody else.
That's-
We could clean that shit up in a day.
Well, that's because people don't love the homeless like that.
People don't look.
That
Capitalism.
Skid Row been there, bro.
I can't argue with you about that. They
Skid
don't.
Row
They don't.
been there.
But we saying that the tragedy
fact
would be the
it is-
catalyst. So if half of Skid Row burnt down, then everybody would start bringing stuff.
But
to
tragedy
Yeah.
is a market corrector. That's what capitalism is about. Every once in a while, the market corrects itself, and that's what tragedy does on an emotional level. But it's really a business thing. When something peaks, it starts coming down, and that's tragedy.
Okay, look at it like this. So like earthquakes happen like in Haiti or whatever, right? When that happened. I didn't go volunteer. I kind of felt, but I didn't go volunteer.
I did.
When something happened out to Dina, I was out there because I connect to that.
I
actually
held
love
a series of comedy shows at the J Spot
Right.
for Earthquake. So it was comics for Earthquake for Haiti.
because you had love. Love did that. So what you're connected
But I never
to makes
sent them money before the tragedy. So again,
Or after.
That was his choice.
okay.
right. I did 6 shows and I was done with it.
I didn't want them to know that part. Wanted them to think out there in the world that he's a good guy. He's still doing it.
That
was it.
You fucked me up.
3-part series and that was it.
That's a great
It
question.
was actually 3 shows, 3 nights,
right.
two a day.
2 a day.
I was out.
On some
I
of
wouldn't
that
come back
same-
on Tuesday.
On that same level,
It was a weekend.
on some of that same level, do you think if you fucking a prostitute, you should get some money back if she busts?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Or you
No.
saying
Yeah.
What I mean,
bust could mean a lot of different things. Like you mean she
Organism.
like she
No, she
freestyle.
had that
I thought
organism.
you meant she was
When
freestyle.
she bust an organism. Have an organism.
Like you beatbox and that bitch start rapping. Bust, bitch. But no.
it would
This is what I spent my money on. I want to hear a verse.
If you dating a lady in rage, that might happen.
Could you do that?
Huh?
Give a prostitute some money. Like, I don't want no sex. I want to hear a 16.
I think you're doing honest tricks a disservice if you're making prostitutes come. They shouldn't be allowed to come. Bitch, this is your job.
yeah,
bitch.
You
That
coming
was
on
my
the
point of
job?
view.
You having fun at work?
No, you should get an extra
How
for
many
that.
times you been to Magic
Yeah.
Mountain and
I
seen
should get
it?
money off.
You should get an
Why would
extra,
you
like a
money
video
off?
game.
Yeah, I mean, she getting something out of it too. I should get half off.
Or maybe like a rain check.
But-
Yeah, you get a free turn
But
next
I mean,
time.
One at a time, one at a time.
Oh, but that means you're specifically paying just for you to get off.
That's the idea. Yeah.
No,
I'm not
yeah.
calling her so she can nut.
No,
I know this bitch.
but I'm not just calling her from just me to get off. I'm calling to have a good time.
Nah, it's a prostitute.
Yeah.
You have good times. What do you mean? You want to
I'm with
dinner?
him.
You fuck yeah.
Sandwiches?
No,
Like,
you
what are we doing?
Like you just
Narrow with this bitch?
you have some
Kissing.
No, you have some
Kissing.
You have some
kissing.
No, you have some fun fucking with this prostitute.
Okay, but
Yeah.
How much is that?
But if
A
she,
good time.
But if she busts though,
Why wouldn't she? We fucking.
so you should get your money back.
What? That's supposed to happen.
No, it's not.
No.
You're
Why not?
supposed to bust.
You're supposed to be
I'm
like,
a bust too. I'm going to
That's
happen.
what's supposed to happen.
No,
What if you get the feeling like this is a good woman, man? Would you take her?
why you doing this?
Would you take her off the market?
You don't
If
got to
were-
do this no more.
If you fucking the same prostitute for 4-5 months, you like the bitch, right?
Right.
Would you take a prostitute off the market if
How old is she?
This is $600.
Oh.
Let's-
27.
my God, he got a consideration.
right.
27?
This is a dream draft.
27,
You've
you
been
know.
fucking her
Yeah.
you've been fucking her for 2 years.
You
right?
get a Luca. You get
Okay,
the
You
Luca.
kinda liking this bitch
This is
now.
real.
You gotta get a Luca.
Right.
Would you make her your girl? Would you take her off the straw and make her your girl?
You might get a Luca.
If she had
Right.
all the 5 C's, including murder.
We talking about
Yeah.
the stroll hole. Though.
All
Yes.
5 C's,
Not,
though.
not
No, she
internet.
could be a regular call
She be
girl.
a
She be
SB.
down at the
No,
improv.
sugar
walking
baby
around.
jump.
Go up the straw.
Niggas don't buy pussy off the straw no more.
Right. If he didn't really like her,
Yeah, I mean-
she's funny.
I tried. They
She-
looked at me like I was the police when I did that.
She compliments you.
was like, nah, nigga, fuck out of here.
She compliments your
How
style.
does this work?
She know
Fuck it, I'm
Commander's
getting back on
history.
the internet.
Craig said niggas ain't going down to the whole show.
I don't know, maybe though. I mean, depending on where you at in
Figueroa
life.
is pumping.
No, it's
Depend
bad
on-
bitches on Figueroa.
See?
Badass women.
Yeah, but that's
Some dude
Down
told me
there
Long Beach Street or something.
Tongue kissing.
I don't know though. Maybe, I mean, depending on where you at in life. Niggas do that
Give
shit
her
all the
40.
time.
Give her $40 to get on one knee. Yeah, I want to just
We'll take a girl that basically was a hoe. They was fucking for years.
Would
give
you
her
wife
bread
her? Yeah,
and wife
she-
her up? Yeah.
Could you marry an ex porn star?
Of
No.
course.
No.
He
Are you
grabbed that
crazy?
mic. Of course.
Are you insane?
Yes, of course.
Yo, what if she meets an old coworker out one day?
She might meet one of my old friends too. So
Nah, but she,
You
yeah, I'm fucked just like what you mean.
I don't know. I seen the old porn star Kitten on the internet the other day. She still
Kitten?
look great. Kitten
yeah,
look great.
she's a
Body
fitness instructor.
right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's kind of like I asked myself that question. Like, I don't know. I kind of would marry her, right? Like, I mean, she been out of the game for like 10 years.
Right,
but-
it eventually snaps back.
Yeah,
Yeah, put the pussy on
I
her.
love this man right here, Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know she knows. Hey,
it does.
but you know she a freak though. You know
What if
that.
she's born again now? She's saved.
Well, then I'm gonna have to wait for her
That
to
makes
get
her
18
normal.
again. If she born
It's a
again.
hard reset.
If she born
That
again.
ain't gonna work.
A 3-date. She had a 3-date rule on you.
And
Kitten had a 3-date.
at least you know she taking in every orifice,
Every orifice.
everyone, and she give head and she raw.
Yeah.
Raw
She
dick.
can do.
At least you know.
I'm-
You gonna go raw with her?
You know why wouldn't you?
What you mean?
She's a hard reset. It's a refurbished woman.
Porn star.
Porn star.
She's a refurbished.
which is way worse. So
Yeah.
If she born again, she refurbished.
You can't
Right.
refurbish that.
See, Craig, you heard that?
She's refurbished.
Don't that make sense? She refurbished.
Yo, that's crazy.
Who don't like refurbished goods? out
Comment
there?
below if you would marry an ex porn star. I really want to see how many people.
Now, if
with
if
this.
I'm
Not Pinky though. No.
nah, not with the tan line.
No.
Now, if I was 60, 65 years old, and I just like, you know what? Yeah, I think I would.
If you was living good enough and you ain't give a fuck
Nigga, you
what
ain't
people say,
65.
it's like, hey,
You not 65?
Chicago Kurt Franklin over this motherfucker.
Everybody say. All the people say.
Okay, look, man. So the other day I was online. I was on YouTube. I saw Tretch. He was telling a story that all the comedians from here know, but the world doesn't know. He told part of the story. It was Tretch told a story on a podcast about how Tupac and him got into a fight at the Comedy Store. Right? And it made me think because one of the comedians I look up to was actually the comedian on stage when the fight happened. When Tretch and Tupac got into a fight with all them brothers, the man on stage telling the jokes was none other than Mark Prince.
It was a night to remember. When you see two of your favorite fucking rap stars battling, going at it, right? Not hitting each other, not hitting the fucking crowd, not hitting the dudes that they fighting. They hitting fucking audience members, right? Like, I mean, it was really kind of they was swinging, but niggas was ducking. But Tretch pulled off his fucking chain.
How did the fight start?
I was telling jokes. I don't know how it started.
Okay.
All you know how you telling jokes and you just hear what nigga? That's what you hear. What nigga?
So you saw the jump up.
And then they jumped up and started going at each other. But then tables start flipping. Everything starts flipping. People start throwing shit. Bottles start going everywhere. And you can't see Tretch, but you can see the chain. Because dark in there.
It was in the belly room or the main room?
No, main room, downstairs.
Packed out?
Downstairs. My fight was in the belly room.
Okay.
Their fight was downstairs. And it went all the way down the stairs, all the way down to the hallway, all the way outside. Eddie Griffin got hit. And you could hear Eddie Griffin out of everybody yelling it, "Motherfucker, get off me!" You couldn't see Ed or nothing like that. Right? It wasn't nobody punching him or nothing. It was just like, they was kind of like crowding him or whatever. He's like, "Motherfucker, get your hands off me!" And Ed got that voice where when, like Tretch was like, "Hey, motherfucker, I beat your ass," and like people weren't scared. But when Eddie Griffin said something, you see the audience like move and shit. That was the ghost of Tupac.
Hold on, does that mess with the sound?
No, we're good. That's the ghost of Tupac. Pushing me over in my chair. Don't tell the story about me. I'm bringing you. Come with me.
you capping.
Stop telling stories about me.
The story is not true.
Tupac pushed him over. He was like,
Yo, Bishop.
Nigga sliding on me.
Wow, that's crazy.
And there's some truth in that story
Mash on him.
about Tupac that none of us will ever tell y'all. Because we respect him and we love him. But none of us will ever tell y'all. So let's just say.
Can we guess?
It went down and he threw. I don't want you to, because I don't want to,
Guess.
But I think y'all can guess in there.
Tupac already yoked him up in the corner.
Come with me. The Comedy Store itself brings a vibe of violence.
Right.
Because what people don't know at first, it was a gangster spot, a real gangster spot owned by Bugsy Siegel.
Oh, that was Cohen.
Ciro's.
Mitch, what's his name?
Jimmy Cohen.
Yeah.
And Bugsy Siegel.
That was a spot.
That was their spot. It's called Ciro's.
It was a restaurant.
It was a restaurant nightclub.
Oh, so it's probably bodies.
So when you first come in the side door, it's a basement with a gate. Down there used to be the bodies.
Oh, wow.
And they built a podcast room down there now. But that's why older comedians won't go down there. You only see younger comedians who don't know no better.
Right.
Because that is where the gangsters had buried. They put the bodies down there. They used to have them down there in freezers and all kind of shit.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of older comedians that will tell you it's ghost in the Comedy Store.
Wait, so how did it switch hands from the mob to
Because Mitzi bought it, right?
So Missy's husband,
Yeah.
Paulie's dad.
Yeah. Right.
Paulie's dad was the comedian, and Paulie's dad bought it, and Mitzi would run it.
Right.
And then, of course, the divorce happened.
Yeah.
She got it
Yeah.
and moved him on or whatever. So now Paulie has it since she passed away. So that's how that went down.
Oh.
No, but Paulie Shore's dad is like a full-fledged road comedian and everything.
To this day.
To this day.
Oh, wow.
No?
Dang.
A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, he's still alive. A lot of people don't know that Paulie Shore's dad was a comedian.
I had no idea.
Pauly Shore was raised by Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Pat Morita,
Right.
From Karate Kid. All of those people were his uncles. So if you ever sit down and talk to Pauly,
Yeah, he just hung out.
oh my God, he got all kind of cocaine stories and everything.
Yeah. Man, I know he does.
He grew up with the Mooney Twins, Paul
Right.
Mooney sons.
Right.
And the Mooney Twins got cocaine stories. They tell you that one time they went over to Richard's house, and Richard would pay them to clean up. They was little boys. And they went over there, and they cleaned up Uncle Rich's house, and then they went back home. Rich picked up the phone when he got home and called Paul. He said, "Hey, man, where them two little motherfuckers at?" He said, "What you talking about? Your two little motherfucking sons, where they at?" He said, "They here." "Why?" "Them two little motherfuckers, ask them what they did with my goddamn cocaine." So he said, Rich, Paul said, "Hey, did y'all do something with Uncle Rich cocaine?" "What's cocaine, Daddy?" "Some white powdery stuff." "Oh, we threw it in the trash because we thought it was like flour for the chicken that they left out, so we threw it in the trash." "Hey, Rich, they said they threw it in the trash." "Yeah, I'm looking in this motherfucker now. They done threw my goddamn cocaine all over this shit." Moody Twins.
That's crazy.
They'll tell you that themselves. The Moody Twins threw away a key of Richard Pryor's cocaine.
So you
That's
used to be at the
hilarious.
Comedy Act Theater.
Yeah. I started my comedy at the Comedy Act.
Robin Harris.
When after Robin died, when I got in, Chris Tucker was just about to get his first movie.
So like 94, 95.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten his first movie yet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
His starring movie. The only movie he had done that far was House Party 3 with my older brother,
Oh, okay.
David. Yeah,
Oh, wow. Dang. So you was at the legendary Comedy Act Theater.
it was dope.
Who was the first comedian you worked with, big-time comedian you worked with? Where you're like, damn, I can't believe I'm working with this dude.
That I said that I can't believe I'm working with him because I hit the ground on the top level because my brother and Dave Chappelle and you know what I mean. So I instantly went to hanging out with all the top comedians, right?
You like Charlie Murphy.
Right.
Charlie
So
Murphy.
but having the chance to work that really blew my mind. So just to say that I was jaded, right? Because I was around everybody. But for me was Robin Williams.
Oh, you okay?
It blew my mind.
Robin Williams is the white boy.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh yeah, that would have blew my mind too.
Miss
He was
Doubtfire, all that. Popeye
Right.
used to have a show called Mark and Mindy back in the day. I used to watch when I was a kid, and he was always like one of my
Popeye,
favorites.
man.
Yes. Tupac and Eddie Griffin hung out one night, and they got into it. Not with each other, with niggas at the club.
Is that right?
Tupac got into it with the niggas at the club,
That's a spark. Them two niggas ain't no joke.
and
right there.
when they left the club, Eddie Griffin told Tupac, "I can't hang out with you no more, nigga." And Pac was like, "What, nigga? We cool." He said, "No, nigga, I can't hang out with you no more." He said, "Why?" "Look at your face and look at my face." Tupac didn't get punched in the face. Eddie Griffin did.
Yeah.
He said, "Man, I can't. Look, you see this? I can't hang out with you no more." They was really good friends though. Tupac and Eddie Griffin were really
It
tight.
seemed like they would be compatible because they both righteous brothers.
There's really, really tight friends.
Wow. But see, Eddie Griffin was also tight with Michael Jackson.
No, Prince.
Prince, okay.
Prince is Eddie Griffin's real life cousin.
Oh, really?
Wow.
That's why that nigga is so musically inclined.
That makes sense.
And if you actually watch Eddie Griffin when he's moving and walking across that stage, those are actual dance moves.
Oh, wow.
When you see him go to grab that champagne glass that he always got on that table, you're going to see him do a Michael Jackson hand movement just to grab the glass. That motherfucker go to grab the glass, he'll go.
So they cousins on his daddy's side.
Yep.
Wow, that's some dope stuff. It'd be a lot of people related. You wouldn't even think.
You wouldn't even think.
Man, that's wild. Man, so you met? How'd you meet Robin Williams?
Doing a show at the Comedy Store in the main room, and he wasn't scheduled. Right.
It was Black Night. He came and did Black Night.
No, it was mixed night. It was mixed night. In the big room, and I went on, and he went on after me.
Oh, wow.
And then I got to sit back there and talk to him about comedy and pick his brain on comedy. And he's really cool.
What you get?
Study everything. And I said, huh? He said, everything. Study every race, culture, and history. And I didn't ask him why. He said, because if you know these things when you're on stage, you'll never run out of jokes. You'll never draw a blank, right? Because you got so much to pull from. And if you say to somebody in the audience, where you from? And they say, oh, I'm from the Ukraine. Then you go, Oh yeah, y'all President Zelensky, boy, didn't he used to wear high heel shoes? You know something about their country and their culture versus you say, where you from? I'm from the Ukraine. Ukraine? What is that? Like a place with cranes and shit? Okay, you may be funny, but you look ignorant.
Right.
So he gave me that gift of study everything, which I cannot thank him enough for.
That's the best advice you've gotten in comedy?
No.
Uh-oh. What other nuggets you got?
All the best advice I've ever gotten was from Eddie Griffin, right? About comedy was from Eddie Griffin. Those secrets I could only tell another comedian that I admire and I see they making their way and they're gonna do it. I'll tell it to that comedian.
Right.
But as far as to tell the secrets that Eddie Griffin gave me out loud, I won't.
Right.
Because this conversation is reserved for the bosses.
Right.
Right? Is this what he gave me is to pass on to the next Jedi. Because that's what we call ourselves. We Jedis. At a certain level in this comedy game, you become a Jedi.
Right. Right.
And you pass the information on to a Jedi. Just
Right.
like when I gave that book,
Yeah.
is because I see your Jedi-ness.
Right, right.
So I gave you the book.
Imagine somebody giving somebody advice. You giving them unworthy advice. You said, man, learn Spanish.
right. You want to be funny?
Yeah, you know they're gonna start doing comedy in Mexico.
Pig Latin comedy. That's where you need to be at.
Hola, boys and girls.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to cucaracha, man. That's what you gotta do.
That's crazy chicken cucaracha, man.
They're gonna bring the mashed potato back.
Sabado.
Can you do the mashed potato?
He got the voice and everything. Salvador.
I always wanted to be that guy. I was like, man, I want to be the Telemundo announcer.
Yeah.
And
I wanted to be the
great job.
Caliente announcer. You ever watch Caliente back in the day?
What somebody who I admire that a lot of people don't understand is Faizon Love, right?
Love Faison.
One of the illest to ever do it. Dope dude, man. Shout out, love and respect for
That's
you.
my big brother.
What is something that people don't know about Faizon Love that they should know?
He's the most giving human being on the face of the planet. But if you get that Mighty Joe Young motherfucker wrong, bro, that's your ass, nigga. That's your ass. That's your ass. And you can't stop him.
How'd you meet Faizon?
I used to live across the street from Angela Means when I first moved here. Angela Means was in House Party 3 with my brother David. And Angela Means was already best friends with Faizon and Chris Tucker. And so I became friends with Angela Means. Me and her like really became best friends over the years.
How's she doing?
And she doing good. And through her, I ended up hanging out with Chris and Faizon, and I really like gravitated towards Faizon because he was just like this real ass nigga, right? Like, and so that's how we ended up like hanging out all the fucking time.
Wow.
And then I would walk into a comedy club, and Faizon was in there, wherever he was sitting, I would go right over and sit beside Faizon.
I've heard Faizon tell a story that I've heard you tell, so you were there for this one, right? Last Dragon?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Man, I gotta hear this story, man.
All right, so for some of y'all young ones, you're gonna have to split your screen to go to Google. There's a movie called The Last Dragon in the early '80s. Hey. It's about a black kid who could do karate like Bruce Lee, and then he ended up getting a glow, and he got to fight a nemesis, another black guy with wild ass hair. Right?
He's seeking the master.
He's seeking the master. And
A lot more than that.
black guy used to taunt. He used to taunt the Last Dragon all the time, right?
Because he want to be the master.
So the taunting words that the nemesis used to say to the Last Dragon, Faizon said this shit to the actual actor whose name is Ty Mac. All right, so we at the comedy club, and Ty Mac at this point, he stopped acting, and he do poetry now.
So he went from being a movie star to a poet.
To a poet.
Oh, wow.
And he's sitting there on stage, me and Faizon sitting in the back of the room, and he's sitting on stage, I'm a tree, and when the wind blows, and I'm a tree. Out of nowhere, you just hear Faizon hit that line. Show no! I'm a tree. And when I blow, kiss my Converse. Go ahead, Faizon, man. Why you always, come on, Faizon, let me do my thing, man. And when the wind blows, I blow. Show enough. He made Ty Mac so mad. Ty Mac walked straight off that stage and out that door like the dude in Fridays with the pout face and shit. Like, that shit was funny as fuck, bro.
So he didn't have no hands for real, huh, Ty Mac?
Nah, man, he was just a pretty boy that they showed him a couple of karate moves.
He knew I do that.
I thought he knew karate. He know karate.
Yeah, he a pretty boy that had a couple karate moves.
Head up, Faizon on the Last Dragon.
I guarantee you with that Hong Kong Fooey headband on, you could whoop Ty Mac.
I wouldn't try it. That motherfucker got the glow. Are you crazy?
No, see, that's the thing. We see shit in movies and
He
we
ain't catching bullets with his teeth.
Watch the nigga footwork. Watch
With his teeth in the
footwork.
movie, he catch bullets with his teeth.
teeth.
Watch Tomac footwork in that movie.
Yeah.
You know what he doing.
He
Trust
caught-
me.
caught that
He
arrow?
He caught the arrow by hand.
By hand.
That's real.
Do y'all
That's
hit
not
his-
CGI. Wasn't out back then.
Nah,
That
nah,
was
nah.
fitness.
Y'all hit
It was
his niggas?
fitness though. He's a fitness
Man,
guy.
That man.
No,
is-
Tybo can't do that.
He's
Tomac
also
will fuck you up.
68.
Yeah.
And he still will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Comedy Act Theater.
He ain't know nothing about no pussy though.
One of the greatest places for black comedy ever.
You remember the first joke you told at the Comedy Act Theater?
Yes.
What year and what joke was it?
93. It was about Michael Jackson was addicted to drugs.
Oh,
And all I'm trying to figure out is how does somebody get addicted to Flintstones chewables? That was my first joke.
That's funny.
It's funny. It was funny. That was my first joke.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then my brother stole it.
Oh, your brother stole the joke from me.
And I'm like, why you stealing my jokes? Nigga, I just started. I need everything I can get.
Who was the host at the Comedy Act when you started?
Ricky Harris.
what?
Oh, wow.
Shout out
Uncle
to
Rick.
Harris, man.
And that's who gave me the book.
Oh, wow.
So my knowledge of that comes straight from Ricky Harris to get to you.
All right, you got to pick Ricky, Joe Torre, Martin. Who's the funniest?
Oh.
All Def Jam hosts, right?
All Def Jam hosts. Damn, I mean, you got to go with Martin.
Martin, okay.
I mean, shit, he done proved it, right? Like, he did that thing we still watch his show today, so.
You got any Martin stories?
I heard
When I first walked into the comedy store in 93, I was coming through that back hallway, the back door. David was walking me in. It was a whole fucking fight in the back hallway. And I seen this like tall ass Native American dude. I saw my homeboy from DC, Kenny Wack, which is Martin's best friend. And then I seen Martin. Kenny's real tall. And you know, Martin real short. And then I see Kenny. But then I see Martin jumping over Kenny's back, trying to hit this dude in front of Kenny, straight reaching over his back. And then I hear Martin Lawrence say, they like, stop, Martin Lawrence, stop, Martin. He like, nah, fuck that. He trying to steal the essence of Martin Lawrence. Like, he was just like that. And I thought he was the most arrogant for doing that, right? I was like, damn, he that arrogant. But then I spent some time doing comedy in LA, and I realized something. They ain't got to steal your jokes, motherfucker. They'll steal your essence.
They will steal your essence.
They take your whole essence and persona on that motherfucking thing. Won't they, She-Thing?
That's called narcissistic mirroring.
She-Thing used to be Cedric the Entertainer when he first got to LA. She-Thing used to have all Cedric the Entertainer's mannerisms when he first got to LA.
Oh, wow.
Then he moved from Cedric. He stole Tony Roberts' mannerisms. The whole with the washcloth, everything used to swoop it around his head, everything.
Oh, G thing.
She-Thing. I don't know a G thing. I know a G string and a she thing. But there's a comedian. Okay, well,
I got you.
so I own a business. I own a store, a business, and I'm opening a grocery store. So you ain't about to sue me, nigga. She thing. You gotta have to go to court and admit that your name's She thing before you sue me, motherfucker.
Wow.
Just like I say, take Dick Jakes. You got to take me to court and admit that you the take Dick I was talking about, right?
Wow.
Got you.
That's how you do that.
I mean, shoot, man, I wasn't around for that era, the G thing era, but or the she.
She thing.
But I mean, that is something I've experienced.
God.
Yeah.
But every comedian when
they're gonna do it to you a lot.
Yeah.
They're gonna say you notice these comedians now are a lot of them trying to be like Chappelle,
Yeah.
right? So they watching what you're doing. They're watching your numbers. They're gonna really fucking start duplicating this on this essence scale, right? They're gonna find a Gawd for them. They're gonna find a word,
Right.
because they seeing that. Damn, he get merch. He get to do the roast show and the comedy show in the same night at the they're gonna look at your formula and they're gonna steal all your essence.
He got new teeth. Look.
He got new. No, just one tooth is new. The rest of them, they're the same old.
Hey,
teeth.
one time I called a nigga around me stealing my facial expression.
Yeah.
I when I tell that story, people don't get how weird that is.
It's weird.
I called a motherfucker around me in the cut, and when I went, he went.
That's scary.
Bro, that is some shit that you can't understand until you go through. You're like, oh my God, this motherfucker is planning on knocking me off.
You saw it out the corner of your eye, or did you see it straight ahead?
Dog.
But, I mean,
Review.
I saw the interview with Chappelle on the Black Comedy Special on Viceland.
Right.
And he said in the earlier part of your career, you chase your influences, and then the later part of your career, you run from them.
Right.
So is it a part of the rite of passage almost to have someone that you are influenced by to get you to who you
I mean, that's
are?
what got.
Yes.
That's what got you here.
Yes,
Yeah.
got you.
So this not it's not when it
No,
goes
we're talking
wrong.
about
is
we talking
when-
about mimicking and stealing the essence. That's different.
Right.
So
It's great. It's great to admire and it's great to pattern yourself after greats and
But to
stuff
be
like that.
Where's the line?
But
though?
it's good to be influenced by too. But we're talking about. But then when you start stealing their facial expressions, their mannerisms, the way that they talk, the way that they carry themselves is different. Okay, I was on a movie shoot earlier today. Okay. And I was watching two comedians share their lines earlier today. And one comedian was sitting in the car and the other one was standing up. And one of them that I was watching was doing a comedian, his whole mannerisms, name's Crenshaw. Right? He wasn't sounding like him or nothing like that, but the way he was doing the whole, it was the essence.
Right.
They will take because that should be funny. So they'll take that.
Right.
Right? And so people go like, well, a lot of people say, well, y'all mad because they stealing jokes and that. It's not jokes. When you start stealing motherfuckers' essence and their timing and shit, you're taking what is uniquely me.
Man.
Right? Because I'm selling me. I'm not selling jokes. I'm selling me. And you taking that, what God gave me, my fucking DNA signature.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like you can't say orgasm or whatever the fuck. That's you. That's your unique quirk. Right? That's not mine. That's yours.
Right.
So what's the correct way for someone to take inspiration without taking essence, in your opinion?
Just take inspiration. This man inspires me. This woman inspires me to do my thing. That's in the genre that they're in. But that don't mean, if this motherfucker always sings on this key, then I must always sing on that key.
Right.
Sing
If you're
on
not
your
paying
own
homage,
goddamn key.
If you're not paying homage, you stealing, bro.
You stealing.
right.
You have to pay homage.
And that's not homage. Stealing from your great is not homage.
No, that's not.
And then you'll never learn how to be great because you on his blueprint, her blueprint. Make your own blueprint.
That's real shit, man.
So, but if you pay homage, then you can just steal? Or
Well,
not steal,
no,
but I
not
mean, you can
steal.
be, God, I want to pay homage to Kraig.
No.
Without Kraig, baby.
No, but they try to do that. What you saying?
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
God. I'm just paying homage to Kraig. No, nigga, you stealing,
Right.
and you putting it behind paying homage to
Part
Kraig.
of paying homage is protecting your influences. If you're the type of motherfucker that you get around your idols, you get around your influences, and then you start beefing with them and getting into situations, that's mirroring.
Okay.
You were there to knock them off. You're not a good motherfucker. You're not somebody I could respect. That you'll be humble and submissive to get around somebody for the game, and then as soon as something don't go your way, you turn against them, and now it's beef, and you telling everybody they not a good person, and you doing all that whole ass shit. That's bitch nigga behavior.
It is.
Right.
That's why something as small as a facial expression ain't small, nigga. That's a nigga that'll fuck your wife. That's a nigga that'll fuck your daughter. That's a nigga that'll choke you out in a dark alley and leave you to die, and take your jacket off your motherfucking body and wear your shit like it's here. I mean, it's the worst of the worst in this comedy. You got to really be careful.
When a comedian we know, like in the last 2 years, stole a joke and then posted it on Laugh Factory's thing that I posted and everything, it wasn't the joke that I got mad at. It was that when I saw him doing the joke in the video, the dude had my hand gestures right on key, the mannerisms, the head movement, everything on the key of the joke where it's supposed to go, because all that's part of the joke. And he was doing it. And I was like, this motherfucker even took my essence, my movements with it. Fuck the joke shit. I write 1 million jokes a day.
Right.
But when you start taking what the unique signatures of the person, yeah, that's
Breath stinking like your breath stink. Like, hold on.
Man, why this nigga breath smell like ass? He must have been the ass
What kind of
fricker.
ass is that?
He must have been the ass fricker too.
Fart and burp in the same key.
Right.
Man, has that happened? Well, you just said it. So, a new hour You've been doing comedy 25 plus years. If you dropped every joke you had today, how long would it take you to come with a new hour?
6 months. Because I got a slew of fucking jokes that I have never even fucking said or only said one time. So it actually probably take less than 6 months because I got jokes I've only said one time, blew a fucking audience up, and I said, God damn, that was good. I'm not going to say that joke in Hollywood, right? Because they steal your shit, right? So I had jokes that I did on my special in September that I had only told one time. And I said, when I get to shoot my special, that's when I'm going to tell these jokes. And that's what the fuck I did. And they blew the fuck up. So for me, it could be like 6 months or less. I say for like, you know, an average comedian, but give yourself a good year of honing that shit, right? If you only doing the LA sets. If you're on the road and doing road sets, it'll take you a lot less time because you're doing a lot more time.
Right.
If you're only doing LA 10, 15 minute sets and you trying to fucking iron out an hour, it's going to take you forever. You're going to have to do 2-3 clubs a night.
So that's a great thing you said, right? Because so you do sets here in LA, you get on the road. How do you break that mind barrier? You used to doing 15, 20 at the most. Because this has happened to me. I got over an hour. Now, is it the type of hour I want it to be? No, it's not, because you got to do it for it to be what you want it to be. But I get to 15, and I got way more material, and my mind will just go blank.
You're not chopping your hour into 15-minute segments in your mind. Just chop your hour into 15-minute segments in your mind. Right. And once you hit the first 15, you know, okay, now I'm going to do this set. Right, that's another 15. Then you're going. So if you chop your sets into 15-minute increments, then as soon as you finish that one, you know where you're going.
Right.
You know you.
Would you work cruise ships?
I have. I don't like to.
Why not?
Why not?
You stuck. You're confined. After you finish doing your show, you just kind of like, you know, the comedian get off stage. Hey, how you doing? All right, thank you. Good night. Take a picture. Hey, all right. Then they you leave. And then they just remember you and they talk about you. But your ass still in the room walking around like you got to go home with your audience and shit, right? Yeah. Then you ain't a spectacular anymore. You're just a regular cruise ship nigga now, right? So
once your fans see you,
you even have to stay in your cabin for the rest of the fucking trip, right?
Eat cheeseburgers and shit.
Right.
You play a Marco Polo with your fans. Like, hold on, nigga. Stay in the room. You got a condo in this motherfucker. Right.
Once your fans see you make a plate.
Yeah, that's it.
You never seen Michael Jackson eat, nigga, right? Like, you know, some shit they ain't supposed to see.
I heard a comedian say some wild shit.
You don't want to see Michael Jackson take his nose off and eat a cheeseburger.
He putting butter on his hash brown. Weird.
I heard a comedian say some wild shit about doing, is it Virgin Cruises? He said, you got to have 5 different 30-minute sets.
Really?
How?
How does that work?
Because then one of the comedians or acts may get sick on the cruise ship, and they got shows at 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. So if an act gets sick and you weren't scheduled as a comedian on that, but they need you, right? But you already scheduled for 8:30 that night, nigga, you kind of have to have another set to do at 2 in the afternoon because them same people might want to come see the comedy show 8:30 at night, and then what you gonna do?
Like I said at 2:30, these women is tripping.
But I will give this clue to comedians out there. I will give this clue on how to make this easier for them. One subject can be 30 minutes.
Right.
And then you can break that one subject into different jokes and different segments, but they all still go to the whole, right? And then that way you really actually won't forget your jokes if you're talking about one specific subject. I mean, you could talk about sex for 30 minutes, or you could talk about food for 30 minutes, or you could talk about being married, divorced, and relationships for 30 fucking minutes.
Talk about blowing your nose for 30 minutes.
And in 30 minutes, say you if you dated 3 horrible women, right? That's 3 jokes. That's 10 minutes apiece. 10 minutes of joke you could do on each of them. That's next thing you know, 30 minutes over.
What's the ratio between setup to punch to have a murderous 30 or hour? What do you think the ratio is, percentage setup to punch?
Give me that in retarded terms.
Okay, so if a joke is if a bit is 100%, and say 50% is the setup, the topic, the premise, what's unique, and then 50% is the punch. What do you think is the appropriate ratio from setting up the punch to joke and 100%? Should 20% of the 100% be setup and 80 be jokes? Like, what do you think is that ratio, that sweet spot you should hit as a comedian so you murder for an hour?
One, I'm going to respect all comedians by saying that's up to the individual comedian and their pace and their timing, right? That's respect for us in our brother and sisterhood. Because Dave Chappelle has a slower than Tony Roberts, right? So that your pacing and your timing, setup, punchline ratio, that will be up to you. But I guarantee you this, though, if you taking too fucking long to get to the goddamn punchline, I'm going to change the channel. Right. So, but for me, in that particular thing, I was taught by Bob Johnson. He was the president and owner of BET. And so it was my first year on Comic View, and he came in the dressing room. And
I thought that was the bitch that was sucking Magic Johnson's dick.
No, that's it's the same Bob. It's the same Bob. No, y'all, Bob Johnson didn't do that. So Bob came in the room and he said to me and Shawty, "What your name here?" Me and Shawty. He said, "I want to laugh every 5 to 10 seconds. You gotta make that audience laugh every 5 to 10 seconds. Because the man at home sitting on the sofa, if you're not making him laugh every 5, 10 seconds, he's gonna pick up that remote and change that TV channel. And I don't need that."
Right.
So, shit, I don't know how we did it that particular day because we had never gotten that directive before from nobody.
Right.
But if you go back and look at the same, me and Shawty on the same episode too, you'll see me and Shawty was like this with the jokes and the punchlines, and we was killing them. We had sped it up, but then from that point, I kept that.
Right.
So like I said, for each is different. For me, I wanted to keep what Bob said, to make a person laugh every 5 to 10 seconds. Yeah, if you starting out, it's hard, but if you keep the practice up, you'll get it. You'll get it. So what that entails is put funny shit in your setup. That's how you get that. So you can still have the long setup, just as long as you put funny shit along the way in the setup.
Right.
Okay.
Right? And that's definitely going to keep their interest.
Right.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right,
and then you can hit that big punchline.
Wow.
You see what I mean?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Faison Love has a legendary joke I seen him do on TV when I was a kid. He just got on stage and didn't say nothing. Yeah. Have you ever seen him do that live?
Oh.
Really?
He sat in the Comedy Act Theater one night for 15 minutes and didn't say shit. And we was just dying laughing.
Wow.
I see Faison Love ask Stevie Wonder if he could see. So he's in the Comedy Act, Faison on stage. Monica Floyd used to be married to Kenny Wack. She was the promoter of the place at the time, and she used to sing with Stevie Wonder and stuff back in the day. So she brought Stevie in, and Stevie was sitting at the table. And Faison was on stage doing his jokes about OJ and shit. He used to have the funniest OJ jokes, and she said, "That nigga look like a slave trying to go see his mama." Al Callen driving. He called the police. OJ got a whip to his head and he wanna see his mama. It's so funny as shit, bro. And right after he hit that punchline, he did that shit where you sit there and don't say nothing. And he sat there for 5 minutes and he didn't say nothing. He just kept looking in the order. He would switch like his position and just be looking. That nigga said, "Hey, Stevie. Hey, nigga, you can see, can't you?" Now, all that shit is just a gimmick to get the bitches, isn't it? Huh? That's to get the bitches. How many fingers I got up? How many fingers, Stevie? I'm going to switch it on you. How many fingers you see? Like, straight up, bro. That nigga told Stevie Wonder he can see, bro.
What comedian isn't funny without cocaine?
Ooh. I will probably just have to say the dead ones because I don't want to get into no shit with because they my homies. I think Rodney Winfield probably wouldn't have been shit without the cocaine.
Rodney. I wish I could have seen him. Like,
Robin Williams probably wouldn't have been as funny without the cocaine.
Louis Armstrong.
He wasn't a comedian. How would Richard Pryor probably wouldn't have been as funny without the cocaine.
What was Rodney Winfield's stand-up like?
Incredible. Now, this is one human being that I would say, man, everything this motherfucker said was funny. Because he just had the accent, he had the voice thing like that there, and that motherfucker, man, look at that bitch over there. I would eat her toenail in my ass. You hear me? He would just say shit.
Yeah. You can chew with your ass.
You can chew with your ass. I would eat that bitch's toenail in my asshole. You hear me?
you choose to
just
eat a
be
toenail, though,
God
like-
damn. And then after every joke, he would say chop. So how you say God, he would say chop, 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 chop.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
yeah.
his thing. And he was
Oh.
one of the funniest people I had.
What year did he pass?
I think it was like 95, 97 in there.
Oh, he's been going for a minute.
Yeah, it's a picture of him in his casket
Is there-
holding the microphone.
It should be like
Oh,
a.
that's dope. How did he pass?
I don't. I think it might have been.
Yeah.
He was old too though. He was an older guy when
So his generation, he was like Red Fox
Red
and
Fox and all of them. He talked about the Jewish brothers and sisters during a showcase at the Comedy Store. He was showcasing for CBS and them, and he said some very derogatory stuff about the Jewish brothers and sisters, and so that ended his career.
Really?
Yeah, he made a very, 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 very derogatory Jewish joke. Like it was very bad. It was very
Oh wow. Yeah, he. I always hear a lot of stories about him. I saw him in what's that army movie that everybody was in?
Oh yeah, he was in there. A soldier story.
Is it a soldier
I
story?
think it's a soldier story.
Yeah, I just remember his voice as a kid. I'm like, that's something about it. I didn't even know he was a comedian. I just his voice is.
No, that's a different guy.
That's
They
a
look just like Rodney though.
Okay, that's not
That's a
him.
different cat. Rodney
Yeah,
was in
Color
Talking
Purple.
Dirty After Dark though.
Talking dirty after
Talk
dark.
Dirty. He was the
homie.
dude, and he was the cook in the kitchen and Talking
Yeah,
Dirty After
buddy.
Dark.
Wow. Dang. So 95. So when you got out here, he was one of the vets.
He was the god.
Really?
Even though he couldn't work no more or nothing like that because of what he did, he was the revered one.
Oh, he was at the top of the food chain.
He was at the bottom of the food chain
Right.
because he couldn't work, bro. Once you mess with those Jewish brothers and sisters, like I don't understand why people do it because
It's
they
the
built
dumbest
this
thing
industry.
ever.
We
Right.
didn't build this industry.
Right. Right.
They did.
We just playing it.
We're just playing it, so we got to respect them.
agree.
I mean, if you're gonna be in this industry, it's theirs. You know, it's not like they run everything because they built it, motherfucker. If you come in my house, I'm gonna run it.
Right.
So, but he was still highly revered by us,
Right.
right? Like, we still let him do comedy and work and stuff like that, and we still kept him on the pedestal. But as far as Hollywood was concerned, he was over.
Wow.
And I see a few comedians headed down that road right now. So, and I'm just like,
Man. Yeah.
just study your history.
Yeah, that's real shit, man. Yeah, man, Rodney Winfield. I wish I could have met him. So, okay, did you get a chance to see Pryor before he passed?
I got pictures with Pryor.
So,
Let me see.
what condition was he in when you met him? He was in the chair, the
He
wheelchair?
was in chair. He was in chair. I have Richard Pryor's last microphone from the Comedy Store.
Really?
You know that gold mic I use on stage?
Yeah.
That's Richard Pryor's last microphone.
Oh, wow.
Everybody know that. Mark Curry know that. Ed Griffin know that. Everybody know I got Richard Pryor's last microphone.
Hey, y'all move that equipment right quick before you can get pushed off in the corner again.
Now ask him. Go if you run into ask him. Ask him. Mark Prince got that motherfucker. So we was at the Comedy
Ask
Store.
Richard?
We was at the Comedy Store and they brought Richard in. And yeah, he was in chairs all fucked up. Cerebral palsy. I mean, he wasn't like, but his body was. And he was telling jokes and shit. And he was funny. It was funny. We stood up that night. It was in the little room downstairs. And we all stood up when he walked in and we never sat down. And he was telling jokes and he was funny, but we were crying too at his predicament. So it was the weirdest shit I've ever been through in my life. Crying but you really laughing, but you really, it's like at the same time, it really happened. And because he was doing shit, man. He was up there in the chair, right? And the mic stand, the microphone had just dropped like this for no reason. It just dropped. It was sitting there all that time and then it just dropped. He said, yeah, kind of how my dick is now, too. This motherfucker did dropped. I don't even want to. This cerebral palsy did some fucked up shit. I'm going to tell you, man. My hand be moving like this all the time. And sometimes the motherfucker moved to where I don't want it to move. I was at church the other day. The lady thought I was jacking the fuck off. I got cerebral palsy, man. So we was laughing and crying, bro. He really said this shit. Like, it was fucking phenomenal.
First time you met Mike Epps?
Tina Graham, the godmother of comedy, called me up from New York and asked me if I would go to the Beverly Boulevard Inn and pick up a comedian named Mike Epps and take him with me to the improv and introduce him. And that's the first time I met my guy.
What year was that?
Oh, I can't remember. It was in the 90s.
Corey Holcomb.
I think I met Corey in the 2000s, the early 2000s. Just hanging out doing comedy, and that motherfucker was always like, he like a Faison to me.
Yeah.
He's just like a brother, a buddy, a friend that I never want to lose touch with.
Right.
I love Corey Holcomb.
Top tier guy.
I love Corey Holcomb.
Scruncho.
At the Comedy Act Theater back in the 90s, Scruncho and I started together.
Oh, really?
And you know how Scruncho big now, he was always buff. But Scruncho used to be more of like a cheesy sex magnet kind of guy.
He
used to have his shirt open and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Cho. So one day, Cho brought his 8x10s to the comedy club.
His headshots.
Cho did his headshots. Cho had a 3/4 shot headshot with no shirt on. Chest out with his muscles like this. Standing there like this. So Cho took his 8x10s and put one on every table.
Right.
I picked up one, went in the back. I tore Cho out of the picture.
Right.
And went to the bar and got a napkin and put it on his back and was flying him around the Comedy Act. And I was like, look, y'all, it's Super Scruncho. This nigga would tell you, Mark did that shit. He was flying me around the goddamn room and shit.
That's some funny shit.
That's the Cho. Man, Cho shot the special. Eddie Griffin Presents. And it's Scruncho did one of the specials.
Oh, wow.
Thomas Ward, me, Scruncho, Thomas Ward. Yeah.
So something you said earlier, it didn't get past me. You said,
I know.
You grew up with Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
Him and your brother were best friends.
Yep.
In Ohio?
In D.C. This is when he had moved from Ohio to Washington, D.C. And he moved to the hood-ish, but it wasn't really the hood because it's a place called Carterburn and they had money on that side, right? And we would go over there and fuck with them all the time, build clubhouses and shit like that and everything. So it's just kind of like, that's what be fucking people up. It's like when if Chappelle walk into the room, out of all them comedians, I'm like the first one he gonna go to. Or you'll hear him, if everybody around him, you'll just hear him scream out, "Where's Mark?" But they don't understand it's because we grew up together, right? Like we're like brothers. Yeah, on his chest.
Oh.
That's what you want to hear. That's what you're looking for.
No, genuine, non-sexual young people. You hang out with people that's cool.
I've actually, even when I was a kid, I've actually never spent a night over like a male's house.
Right.
I've still never to this day.
Yeah.
How did you play video games as a kid?
I won't. I'm moving around.
So now that y'all got a backstory on the OG, we about to jump into some heavy political stuff, man. He was actually hipping me to some science of what Donald J. Trump is doing. A lot of people are taken aback by some of his antics, but they don't understand what he's doing. And Mark is going to take us on that journey. What we got?
All right. So I know a lot of us is mad at the whole Trump and Elon. It's crazy. There's a lot of crazy shit going on, a lot of evil shit going on. But these two people decided that they were going up into a government building called the USAID building. USAID building is the building that you could write the grants to the government for whatever program you got. I don't care if it's fucking toenail clipping with your teeth, right? If you say it's going to help the world, they'll give you some money. So Elon Musk and Trump went into the USAID building, and that's the protest y'all been seeing all week. That was the government workers standing out in front of the building trying to get them to not come in, which I don't understand because you're not a government worker. You're called a government servant. You're called a servant of the government. And when you're a servant, what that mean?
Sir.
Get my beer, bitch. So when I ask you to get something, you got to go get it for me, the American person. So you can't tell me no. You are a servant. Well, they were telling us no. And so the news media, I saw as the liberal media was like really kind of scaring people, saying that they was going in there and they're going to get all your tax money and your social security numbers and your this and your that. And I believed them too. And then next thing you know, on Wednesday, Elon Musk and them put the data bank to the USAID department online. something that no other president has done before ever, to show the American people what not the Republicans doing with your money, not what the Democrats doing with your money, what they all doing with your tax dollars.
Do y'all hear this? You can. What's the
Right?
site?
And the site is called Data Republican. Now, the Democrats is like, see, it's called Republicans. Will y'all fucking quit it? Listen, it's two sides. The two sides are the same. It's a Republican, it's a Democrat, right? A Crip will kill you and a Blood will fucking kill you. Okay? So a Democrat will kill you and a Blood. Just get this through your fucking skull. None of them are on your side.
Basically, y'all can go on this website. What's it again?
DataRepublican.com. All one word when you put it in the search engine. Don't separate it. DATA Republican.com. Put it in together.
You can go on this website. There's a search bar. Once you go to the website, you can type in anything, and it'll tell you how much money the government gave out for this particular thing last year. You type in LGBTQ, I typed it in with them, and they gave $1.4 billion to them. You type in African Americans, they gave us $1.4 billion last year. The difference is black people are 41 million strong in this country. LGBTQ people are 13 million strong. So they, if you divide that by the number of Americans, basically it's like saying they gave every black person $39 last year.
And this is factual information that you could go on this site and kind of showing y'all what it looks like a little up close. You'll see it. They can see it, right? That's what it's going to look like when you see it. And you're going to see it right down there is one that says on the left, where you saw the blue, it says federal grant search. That's the one you go to first, federal grant search. And in the search bar, you type in anything that you think they might have given money for. So first thing I typed in was transgender. Not that I'm interested in transgender, but I know that. Just listen to the goddamn thing now.
First thing I put up in that motherfucker.
Because
you can look at anything, tap dancing.
Because
you can look at
because I
astronaut.
feel that transgenders got more balls than us, right? Because you got to have some balls to cut off your balls. You understand that part? So, but no, there was a specific reason, and it was because I knew during the Biden administration, LGBT and transgenders coupled themselves to the black movement. Right. So they would say that LGBT rights is like civil rights.
Yeah, all lives
Well,
matter.
no, civil rights is about my black ass skin I can't wash off. You can always choose not to suck a dick.
Right.
To understand that.
Oh man, pause.
Ain't no motherfucking pause. It's true, right? Like it's just truth, right? This ain't gay bashing or nothing.
No,
Truth is
it's
truth.
just
You can
visual.
always choose to opt out of not having that sexual thing that you do. I can't opt out of being black, and that's just fucking true.
Right.
Michael Jackson tried, and they still treated him like a nigga.
Right,
he
right.
washed that shit the fuck off. They was like, still a nigga. Still a nigga. All right. So when I in the transgender part was for this specific reason. I knew that they had coupled themselves to us. So what I wanted to find out was, well, how much do you give them?
Right.
And what I found out was they were giving them the same amount as that they give us, right? You see that right there. The LGBT is
Those are ran by white men. Of course they gonna
Right.
get money. What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
right.
white man got more money than us again.
But the
He's in the
motherfuckers,
dress this time.
but the motherfuckers, like Kraig said, it's only 13 million. Well, they got us on there at 41 million, and I know it's a bunch of brothers and sisters that just said it's a lot more of us than that, and it is. But they got us on the record as 41 million. Just understand that part. So then I went from that to just seeing different shit. Like I know that they hold back crops in America, right?
What do you mean by that? Because people gonna be like, what you mean they hold back crap?
So they give farmers money to not put their crops on the market, which sends up our food prices.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew that, Otto?
Yeah, I knew that.
So I put
I
in
knew
the
that.
search
Oh,
engines,
well.
farmers of America. They came back with a number that they give the farmers to hold back their crops, 473,213,000. Right? So then I put in farmers as a whole around the world. Since they do that to American farmers, then how much money do they do to subsidize other farmers to not sell
To
their
pay
crops?
people across the world.
Across the world.
Not to sell their crops.
You ready for this number?
What is it?
2,443,943,000.
To control the price of food. That's why we paying $10 for eggs.
So that like they grow tomatoes, they're gonna say like, look, we're gonna give you this money to only sell half your tomatoes and let the other half rot.
Right.
So the egg prices would still be high right now because of bird flu. But if it wasn't for these incentives, they would actually not be as fucking high. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So the scarcity is part bird flu and part holding back eggs.
Right.
Well, I mean, but that may change though, because if you let the market loose, then you don't know exactly how far it's gonna go anyway. It's almost to hedge the market from going too nuts. Because if you let everybody sell,
But that's what it. But that's what it.
Yeah, if you let everybody
Yeah.
sell everything, then the prices go down, and then they're able to control the market and how it fluctuates up and
Right.
down.
But what
Kinda
you're
like
saying,
crypto,
what
like
you're
crypto.
saying though, what you're saying is actually still happening anyway.
Right.
Because there's a market in the world that was made by the banks of London called hedge funds.
Right.
Hedge funds is only betting on he's only going to grow 2 acres of crop next year, right? I'll bet that he grows 2 acres of crop, no more than 2 acres, right?
Right.
And then the other person goes, I bet that he only going to grow, they're going to bet against you, 1 acre of crop. So whichever one come in, then that's the person that win. If you grow 2 acres, then I win. If he grow 1 acre, then he win. That's hedge funds.
Right.
So what you're talking about is what you're talking about, when you apply that to this, if I'm telling these people to hold back a certain amount of fruits and vegetables, I'm hedge funding. I can bet on only this amount of fruits and vegetables is coming, so I'm cheating.
It's a fixed game. So
It's a
let me-
fixed game.
Well,
So
you
let me-
gotta, because I mean, but don't you have to fix the game in order to have a game? The
I
game
mean,
has
yeah,
to
I
have
mean-
No, but
rules,
it
right?
don't-
Like,
there shouldn't be a game.
but if it wasn't a game, then it'd be war. It'd be
Well, when God put us
tyranny.
here, it was
It'd be
different.
a nigga selling. Everybody
My
was selling
que-
apples everywhere. Are you crazy?
Not really.
My question is, what do
I'm
they?
asking though. I'm
So
asking.
they grow. They actually grow the crops, and then they hold them off the market. What do they do with them?
Let it rot.
Right. The same with restaurants when they can't give food away, they have to just throw it away.
Let it rot. They started doing this during the Great Depression. During the Great Depression, and especially in California, which was known for oranges, grew all the oranges, and they couldn't get them to market. It was the Great Depression, so the oranges ended up being like on the side of their farms. So these hungry ass people would go up to the farms to eat the oranges. Man, they put National Guard out in front all of the oranges, and if you tried to take, they'd kill you, and just let all the oranges die. This was during the Great Depression, so they do this.
Yeah, I mean, there's apps now that you can go and buy the food from the restaurant.
Yes,
tonight that
yeah,
they're not selling.
yeah. These people making a business out of that
Yeah,
now. Somebody
yeah.
made a business out of that. Just what he's saying.
Exactly.
Wow,
Yeah.
I used to work for Cisco Foods back in the day, delivering groceries to restaurants. Yeah, they don't, most of that shit they don't get to.
No, they don't. They can't get to it because you don't know your restaurant empty on Thursday, but a bunch of people coming in here on Friday. But you can't sell that fucking meat now.
So basically, paying these people to hold these crops, that means the crops are already bought. They
Yes.
just bought the groceries and said, don't give them to nobody.
Yeah. Or our U.S. government may take some of those crops and send it overseas to feed other people, not us.
And that's like a rite of passage when you get to a certain level of wealth in America. When you get to a certain level of money, you buy a farm just so you can have a place to have the government pay you, and you don't have to worry about it. And you can use it for many different.
And that's why the black farmers are
like
about to
having a
get all that
nonprofit.
money
Yeah.
because
Nonprofit.
they weren't being included in that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So it was being left out, right? So now that's why they suing and they're getting all that back money.
So in this country, pretty much the rich, the super rich, are competing for our money.
No, in this world. See,
this
that's the
world.
thing about this site. It's the super rich that are getting from around the world that are getting
world,
our
Craig.
money.
The
So,
world, Craig.
so China, we don't like China, right? China is
China cool.
China. No, but really, China is about to go to war with us. So no, China ain't shit. Y'all think China the shit? China ain't shit. They always about to go to war. now.
talking that shit. They can't even
But-
have enough boys yet. When they have
Last
enough niggas,
fortune cookie.
when they have enough niggas born to even fuck with us, then we could talk.
Okay, so
But I came across this one where they're giving the University of Peking University in China, $15 million annually for China health and retirement logistical studies. So for them to study their health and retirement, why the fuck is my tax dollars giving them money, $15 million annually, so that they can learn how to retire instead of we getting that $15 million to learn how to put together a fucking retirement?
because China is over 20% of the world, and the banking systems want to be able to control those assets. So they're trying to educate them on how to say, yeah, that's wild.
Or could it be somebody's hooking their friend up? Because it's only 15
Oh,
million.
for sure
It's
it's
only
that.
15 million, so it's like it's real small. I could just go to like 2 people real quick.
Annually, so that's
Yeah.
that's actually $60 million a year.
that's not a lot of money.
I thought
No,
annual
but then
was
when you
12
keep
months.
adding these different programs, these different ones, these are just not even the 10%, not even 1%. This is some. I'm just giving you some. This ain't all of them. So I mean, like I came across this one where they're giving the Chinese here in America $2.5 million to study racial discrimination on them in America.
That's the whole reason they did. That's the whole reason they did that campaign about Asian hate.
Yeah, they got that bill signed too.
So that's another thing. The media is a tool, so they create these shadow problems, these mysterious. All of a sudden, everybody hates this type of person, and then they go. They go to get the money for the things through there.
But we don't.
But we don't, right?
Right. And there's a solution to the end of this of what I'm like, why I'm giving y'all this information too. Like, and I mean, it's a beautiful solution. Okay. $2.8 million for a Chinese dude to have a fucking mobile truck in China to go around and give HIV testing to Chinese and pass out pamphlets.
Yeah, sweet.
You teach Tai Chi too?
I think he do. Yeah, he do. It'd be shit like that. Oh, now you got that 2.5 million, that 2.5
What about
million.
hip-hop?
I never typed in hip hop. I never
Since it's in
typed
the
in
Olympics now, it's got to be some money.
I never typed in hip hop. But Albania, right? Like we send in $4.5 million to Albania to increase the resilience of the Afghanistan refugees and host communities in Albania.
How do you increase
What?
the resilience?
Like what? Okay, look. Poland.
Like over there just encouraging
Poland,
niggas, you know what I'm saying?
Poland,
You can do it.
$9 million annually to protect the children's from child care institutions in the Ukraine to Poland. Right, that's for their kids. I don't know if I got the screenshot of the one here, but I went. Oh, here it is, right here. Okay, well then you take care of these kids in Poland. All right, cool. Kids should get taken care of, right? UNICEF, same company. UNICEF only sends $728,000 to Chicago for mental health for the children.
Wow.
But they giving $9 million over here to these people in Poland and $4.4 million to Albanian kids. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's worth looking in there when you're looking up for all these programs for your kids and these people say they ain't got no money. They're taking your fucking money and they're supporting people in other fucking countries with your money that they didn't ask you to do.
Gawd!
Okay, we don't like the Gaza Strip. We've been at war with the Gaza Strip. Tell me why you sending $125 million annually to the Gaza Strip, to the Palestinians, the Jordanians, and the Liberians, the Syrians.
That's really $475.
All right, no, like it's right here. He reading it. He can tell you, Mark ain't lying. I'm reading what this motherfucker got on this goddamn page. Look,
Is it librarian?
$125 million. Syria, God, and Jordan, Lebanon.
Yeah,
Right? These are places we're at war at, but then we're sending money to like take care of their fine stuff.
Why is Trump doing this?
Because they kept fucking with him. They kept fucking with him so much for them 4 years. I believe that motherfucker said, like Nino Brown, if I gotta go down, all you motherfuckers gotta go down. So he opened the door.
So Trump opened the door. You can see exactly what these white folks and our government have been doing with our money, who they've been giving it to, why they've been giving it to them. That's it. That's crazy.
We give $20 million to Syria for health and nutrition. How much money they give your black kids for health and nutrition?
Yeah.
Right?
That's why all the foreigners who come here, like a lot of them be having money.
We
Good credit and
give
good
$10 million to Nigeria and Kenya for transgender surgery and transgender care, and they don't believe in none of that transgender shit.
Wow.
So where the $10 million going to each of them? We give $2.5 million annually for transgender surgery on mice.
We got too much transgender statistics.
But no, listen, no, these aren't the statistics I looked up. So when you look up a fact and you get one of the facts, you post it to this other website. You post it to but listen to me, guys. You post it to this other website where everybody collectively are posting what they found. Right. So these people found the transvestite mice, but then there was another sector of mice that they say were gay mice.
Oh shit!
I say, how you know a fucking mouse is gay, B? Yeah. And they were testing the effects. They were testing the effects. They put him in like Richard Gere.
Yeah, this mouse didn't like it.
This
one ain't
crazy,
gay.
bro.
This one right here.
But this one,
Really
he can go to
enjoy-
Africa.
He really enjoyed himself. Put him in this
He can
box.
go to Africa.
That's
Nigga said
wild.
no.
This one trans. This one like being a female ass, not man ass.
They were testing the effects of date rape drugs on gay mice. These people call them gay mice. Okay? I don't know.
Can you date rape a homeless woman
Can you date rape a gay mouse?
at her house?
That's crazy.
Stop
Hey,
the
man.
house.
Okay, homeless. How much do y'all think that your U.S. government actually gives for homelessness in America?
$36.
Too much,
Okay.
God damn it.
It will blow your mind.
EBT card with
It'll blow your
$200 on
mind.
it.
Over $3 trillion.
How much they give to transgender homeless?
They give they give
Over $3 trillion
$3
annual.
Transgender
to the
homeless.
homeless here in America, but they're still everywhere.
So where the fuck is this $3 trillion going?
Wow.
$3
Hustle,
trillion.
bro. See, it sound
Oh,
like
you only need to
sound
clean up
like
a few
I'm on the
goddamn
wrong
places, right?
side
New
of
York,
the
Detroit,
website.
L.A.,
Right.
some parts of D.C. You only need to clean up a few fucking places,
They
right?
say
Wow.
they say like a third of the homeless people in America are in LA.
Yeah, here it is right here. Homeless. I put in homeless. How much you give to the homeless? $3,787,730,000
That's incredible.
annually.
Because I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of homeless people are just assholes. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't even.
Chelsea
They said
Clinton got
fuck it.
$83 million
Chelsea Clinton
of our free tax dollars.
for what?
I think she got her teeth. Remember, her teeth used to be out. I think you notice they in now. So I think that took about $80 million.
That's not her fault. She's just in the system and she has the advantage. That's not her fault.
Yeah,
She's born
but so
into it.
this is the silver lining that I'm saying about this system. No, that's good.
It's fucked
No,
up.
but when it's Bronny James, everybody got a problem with it.
Right.
Okay.
Or when
Yeah,
it's
all right,
when
see,
it's
Drop 17 of them. now.
when it's the black welfare mama.
He used to be on the team.
When it's the black welfare mom, everybody got a problem about her pulling down $230 in fucking food stamps. Yet still, you over here giving these motherfuckers $2 million to go see what a mouse dick look like.
Right.
See,
Hey man,
Mickey Dickens.
The hypocrisies in the system are incredible. Look up this website, see it for yourself. This proves the point, man.
But let me give them the silver lining. So here's the silver lining. Well, what is all this about now? So on the website, when you go in it, and you go to the different organizations that receive the grants. Also on there, you hit the little button and say read more. When that pops down, it'll show you everything, the criteria that they wrote in order to get that grant. Here's the silver lining. I don't believe this. Now, he hasn't said it. This is just my belief that Trump is going to let these particular people that he's kicking out of the grant situation reapply. All the ones who attached LGBT and transgender stuff like that, that's what he's ending all of their funding, right? And a lot of their funding came from being attached to that $1,400,000,000 that we get. We had to attach LGBT and transgender in order to get those funds, right? So everything black is coupled with LGBT and black, right? So he's pulling that part apart. So here's the silver lining. He's not going to let those people reapply. So we study this list. That's where we come in. Right? Because that would mean that the grant for that service is still on the table. So say if they had I want a grant for $2 million annually to have a mobile book truck to go around and read to children in inner cities, but these people put and for the LGBT trans community on it, right? What we do is go in there, copy that, take out the dick and the booty, and then resubmit it and get the grant.
Right.
can we keep the booty?
So you see how much money is on the table that we could get now. You see what I'm saying? So that's the silver lining for us as black folks. We keep saying, well, where the money at, where the money at? Well, right now, since this been out since Wednesday, and we found $2.8 trillion already, right? Wow. So this is a silver lining and a restart and a new opportunity for black people, because if you start reading this, then now you're going to know how to grant write. And now we could do the shit them lazy white motherfuckers was doing, is just sitting at home in our drawers, eating popcorn, fucking a fat bitch, writing a grant proposal.
If I got $1 trillion, I ain't fucking one fat bitch. I'm fucking all of them.
Several.
But you see what I'm saying? That's the silver lining. So that's the each one teach one I came to Kraig's show to share with y'all. It's not just the doom and gloom and the fucking mice with the goddamn dangalangs, right? It's about how we take this information now and we come the fuck up.
Hey, man, I ran into Mark earlier. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make this a different episode because once it clicked to me what he was trying to show me, I just thought it was interesting. Based on what people think about Donald Trump, that he was willing to open the books. Mm-hmm. He opened the books to this country and what they spend our money on. I think you should go ahead and take a look at this website. Tell them the website again.
Data, D-A-T-A, Republican.com.
Then you go to federal.
And then you go to federal grant search. It would be the third one down on your left. It says clear as day, federal grant search. If you want to find where Chelsea Clinton got money, that's where you go to charity. Charity graph, and then they'll show you like the people who got charity funding versus the people who got grant funding. That's like two totally different things.
Hey man, check it out so you can see how they spend our money. And
he doing Medicare next.
Oh, wow. Medicare going to be
Medicare and Medicaid for the sole purposes to show you the fraud that the doctors commit upon you.
Right.
So, for instance, y'all could Google this right now. There's currently a doctor, I think he's in San Francisco, that's under trial. For 10 years, he was telling his patients that they had cancer and sending them to chemotherapy and the whole regimen, and they couldn't pay for it. He just billed the government.
Wow.
So, that's just one. So, and Elon and Trump knows that there is this fucking high amount of fraud in Medi-Cal and Medicare because the government just writes you a check. They don't check your shit out. They just be like, here, take it, right? So when they put the Medicaid and Medi-Cal up, it's going to dwarf this.
Yeah.
It's going to make this look like candy paint.
Right.
And I end with this. They're going to try to take them two out. Because now you fucking with the money.
The money.
When Abraham Lincoln fucked with the money, he made greenbacks. He took us off the central banking system and made greenbacks. People think that he got killed because of slaves. No, you fucked with the money. Kennedy ordered $50 billion from the Treasury and not the Federal Reserve. He did it the way the Constitution says. But since 1913, they've been making the president order it from the Federal Reserve, which is not federal. That's why we pay interest. You can't pay if you borrowed $1 from this pocket on your own pocket and put it in this pocket and say I'm gonna charge myself interest. Please tell me how the fuck is that gonna happen?
Right.
So you can't borrow from yourself, the government, and charge yourself interest. You have to be a separate entity in order to charge someone interest. That's why the Federal Reserve. So Kennedy did that. He ordered it, $50 billion from them instead of them, and they took that nigga on a nice trip through Texas on a nice sunny day with a convertible.
Wow. Hey, man.
Don't fuck with their money.
This episode has been all about science, man. Thank y'all for listening. If I owe you something, get it from God. God.
You know me, that's all we only know what you know. Can't stress you, when I met you, you were still enough to start. You only know what you know. Love you to death, that's as mad as it gets. You're sort of mine cause you're borderline. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Why? No, wait, I'm good. No, I'm good. Why? No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Why? No, me, I'm good. No, I'm good. Why? Wait for me.